Well, hello there and welcome to another edition of Friday Night Lights. The team are back together again for lots more winners. Hopefully, got Johnny Ward, Gavin Lynch. I'm Thom Malone. Hopefully, we'll be guiding you through the evening's action at Dundalk. Right. Not a bad weekend last weekend, lads.
Well
so
done you, Cascavel.
Absolutely, I'm delighted with Cascavel. Hope you all got on and there was a good old plunge on it as well, which always a good sign. Right, we'll start this 5:30. Alfredo Arcano drops back down in Trip, got the plum draw. And his trainer's strike rate, John, do you want to mention that?
Yeah, because I got this wrong there. 2 weeks ago, I said that his strike rate was poor this season. And I look back on it, it's actually 10% going into that week. And he is my selection. I'm very interested in this horse. He'd no run at all 2 weeks ago. Really thrives on the surface. I think the key to him is a good gallop. He's quite a strong traveller in his races. Yeah. Chris Hayes is riding him. He has the gate 1. He's won over the course and Trip. He was an eye catch the last day. He's very well handicapped, I think, in theory. If he gets a strong pace with the likes of Togeville in the race, I hope he will. You know, it's an interesting race. Menelek is obviously a terrible draw this time. We tipped it the last time, but very hard to fancy from this draw. I'd be very sweet in Alfredo Arcano each way.
Gavin, your thoughts?
There'll certainly be a lot of pace in the race. As you mentioned, Togeville, Menelek, won over you, Hakiba, so they're going to go very, very fast. I thought Togeville was interesting, but the one I'm going for is Golden Pearl. It's in here off 68.
Okay. His best run over course and distance of a much higher rate?
Yeah, well, the last day was 6, this is 5, so that's a slight worry. If it was 6, I definitely would fancy it a lot, but Golden Pearl in off 68. It's only one win from 14 starts, but still, I think with a fast run race, it could come home late.
Yeah, I think he was in the 80s when he finished second over course and distance a couple of runs ago. I'd love Flawlessly to run in this race, by the way, but looks like she's not going to get in. But I certainly wouldn't disagree on Golden Pearl. Right, let's move on. And friend of the show, Reckless Lad, features in the second, but I think we might be just moving away from him a little.
Reckless Lad has to have a chance. The last day, the 6 furlongs was too short. And stepping back up to a mile, which is his perfect trip. But there's just one interesting horse in the race called Yamato. The last day, it gave Reckless Lad, including the jockey's claim, £21. And this time it only has to give it £1, so it's £20 well in compared. There is a jockey claim in 3, but it's still £17 plus the jockey's claim, £20 well in Yamato against Reckless Lad.
Fair switch. Now, Johnny, your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely has a chance, Yamato. I'm just with Settle for Bay here again, fairly unexposed 3-year-old, won well the last day, strong at the finish. Donal O'Connor keeps the rides. I think it might even be £1 less now with the kind of anomalous changing of the ratings at the end of the season, and just looks a fairly straightforward horse, and I'd give it a fair chance in another competitive race.
Good stuff. The mile 45 to 65, the first division, that looks uber competitive. Do you have thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think the second division is a better race.
Yeah, it does
personally,
look that way,
it does look that way. And the first division, I was going to go for Complicit, but I see that the hood is left off. That's very well in off 55. It has been off 67.
Been well in a long time.
Yeah, it's been an eye catcher a few times. But the horse,
the time they went for it had been racing over sprint trips so far. It forgot how to get a mile.
And they stepped it up. So that would have a chance. It's one to possibly keep an eye on. But the horse I'm going to go for is Mazalai. It's only had 5 runs. It was 4th the last day off 60. Gets in here off 57. So Mazalai.
Yeah, potential improvement there, Johnny.
What Gavin said.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's move on to the second division because it does look a much stronger new. Again, friend of the show.
One of our favourite horses.
Absolutely. Tamiya. We love Tamiya. Up against, although jockey's claim probably levels things out a little bit.
Yeah, it's gone from 60 to 71. It won by 4 lengths last week. Did us everybody a favour in the last race. Ben Cohen hasn't ridden a winner yet, to my knowledge. He was a super pony race rider, but
brilliant winger for England as well.
Yeah, with a H.
So it's going to carry 9 stone 10. So Tamiya, last time Indian Tomahawk was a little bit unlucky, and also Pave with Goal was unlucky in Chelmsford, but Tamiya I think will win again.
And keep going with Tamiya. He probably shouldn't really be. He was nearly a 3-time winner. Like the previous time when he got the Burnview Lady got the free.
Yeah, so he's still in the lowest grade as well, you know. So
yeah, absolutely, Johnny.
Tamiya has her chance again. I think she might actually be better over 7 than a mile, funnily enough, even though she's by Cape Cross. But my bet of the night goes in this race, actually, and it's not Wait for Dave, who did what Wait for Dave does last
Unbelievably
Friday.
Found a way to get beaten.
He did. I actually got a tweet from him, a photo of him in his box with his handler looking at me in a forlorn way after I kind of had a little dig at him on Twitter.
Oh no.
But he went 1.5 in run and was beaten again, but he's actually interesting enough dropping back to a mile. I think that might suit him, but he'll probably not win. My bet of the night here is Lady Rosebud, who is dropping back to the mile. Didn't get the mile in 2.5 the last day. She's won off 54, and she actually beat Winging It off 54 while we were at Cheltenham in March. I remember it was the Friday of Cheltenham. We're watching a little Dundalk.
You love this Friday meeting at Cheltenham, don't you?
I love the Dundalk.
The Dundalk meeting on the Friday at Cheltenham.
I do. And she beat Winging It, who's now rated 100 odd or whatever, but that's kind of not really relevant. What is relevant is she drops back to the mile. That's the key to her. Same mark as when she won. She actually shaped well the last day. Sean Corby takes off 3. I'm very sweet on her.
Good stuff. Right, on to the maiden event of the evening, which War Hero, probably the highest rated in this, coming back into maiden company.
Yeah, ran well the last day in a handicap nursery off 74. Well, it's off 74 now. The horse I'm going to go for is Bella Signora. It's only had 3 runs. The last day was drawn 14. It was a very good maiden against Overcoming, who's now rated 88, and Loving a Boom, the Jessica Harrington horse. It was beaten over 3 lengths that day, but I think those two could be listed class. Behind it the last day was Natty Dress, who was rated 73, and Zeb City rated 75, so it might just have the edge on War Hero, which is Bella Signora.
Yeah, it looks pretty exposed, War Hero, as well, to be fair.
He ran 6 times, I think.
Yeah. Johnny, your thoughts?
I'm going to go with War Hero, despite the fact that he is fairly exposed. He's not especially exposed in the all-weather. 6 furlongs, I think, is probably something like his trip. Being drawn 12, he should get away with that in a maiden. And I just think on his run, I think 74 might actually win this race. It's not strong. Obviously, Bella Signora. Henry de Brum had a few more flat horses than he used to have and does okay with them. And she definitely has a chance as well. Snow Patch is one to keep an eye on.
I actually fancy Snow Patch. Was very keen the last day.
Definitely.
And,
it was bang there for him.
Yeah, and it didn't kill it in the closing stages. I think
absolutely. And it's like what Gavin said last week. Our choices here are without knowing the prices. When we have the prices, it's much more straightforward. But I wouldn't put people off Snow Patch each way. But War Hero probably wouldn't have a bet in the race, but he'd be my selection.
Yeah, he looks like the likeliest market leader, you would think, though, doesn't he?
Might not go off favourite, but I'd say he'll be the early favourite.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, on to the feature event then. This 10 furlong handicap. I doubt Aidan O'Brien has too many horses rated 72 in his yard.
Especially having won a maiden.
And then
a half sister to motivate her.
Yeah.
I think this horse has to be well in.
It has to be. The tactics are very important for that horse. It ran 2 keen 3 runs ago, then it made the running. The last day it settled much better. It's drawn 1.
The time was beaten here during the summer, though. It just ran stink, didn't it? I mean, would that worry you?
Yeah, I think maybe she's just getting a bit more clued into her racing, that she's settling a lot better.
That's the thing with her, and she was off for a long time. Her early form as a 2-year-old that ties in with Alice Springs at Newmarket. She's so well in if she puts it together, and I think, See the Stars half sister motivator was very important that she won a race.
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer they'll persevere with her, but she's effectively running off 74, I think, because she's won out of the handicap.
Yeah, she's a pound out.
But I actually do think, this thing of getting their confidence high after getting their head in front is probably overstated. But I think with her, it actually might be true. She looked more straightforward. And I don't think it was bad form, the race she won, the maiden she won for. I certainly think 73 is taking a chance on her.
Yeah, would you put anything up against her?
I would, yeah. Thunder Speed ran very well the last day against Thunder Crash and Bold Night. Both of those ran well since against older horses, so I'd probably just actually go for Thunder Speed over Clear Skies.
Good, so penultimate race in the cards, 1.5 mile maiden. Johnny, what do you fancy in this one?
Financial Conduct. Had to do my tax returns last night, and I hope Financial Conduct does a better job than I did, because I got an extension. But this horse was so strong in running the last day on Betfair. It was really well backed. It didn't quite go through with its effort, but at the same time didn't do a great deal wrong, and was really strongly backed prior to the race as well. Looks fairly straightforward. It steps back up to 1.5 miles, Harbour Watch Gelding. It's one of those kind of late year maidens that isn't all that strong. What's interesting is that Andy Oliver also has played cool, which wasn't at all disgrace behind Clear Skies, but if Clear Skies is rated, 73, and this thing was behind us, Financial Conduct probably should have a bit of an edge over it. And I think Jockey Book can suggest that as well.
Gavin?
I'm actually going to go for another Andy Oliver horse in the same race, sorry. It's Chris Hayes usually rides most of the horse, for Andy Oliver, and he's riding the Phantom Punch. First time out, play it cool and Financial Conduct, as Johnny says, are rated in the mid-70s, same as Vienna Circle. But I just think maybe I'll take a chance on the Phantom Punch first time out, that Chris Hayes has picked that ahead of the other two, possibly.
Good stuff. In the last race, I'll throw my hat in the ring in this 10th Amendment. I still can't believe, I've watched the replay of the race and still don't believe he got beaten. So I'm going in again and £6 better off against Shake the Bucket. Johnny?
Yeah, absolutely going with that as well. Just give a mention to Freedom Chimes, whose trainer is Sarah Lynham, and she's actually in pursuit of her first winner. I think he could provide her with it. Ran really well last time and isn't badly treated at all, actually. Champs-Élysées horse. But 10th Amendment, rock solid claims, ran really well over hurdles since that second to which you referred. And keep up the good work for Keith Clark.
Good stuff.
Mandarin Monarch, I'm going to go for on this. It ran in a handicap for 75 rated horse the last day, so it's stepping down to a 65, and that usually makes a big difference. It's drawn 14, so it's badly drawn, but it's a hold-up horse. And himself and Rapstar were clear the last day behind Commander 1, so I think that's good enough.
Good stuff. Okay, look, right, time for our best bets on the card. Johnny, start with you.
Yeah, I'll give the best bet as Lady Rosebuds, and my other two selections would be, I'll give Clear Skies, and what'll I give as my third? Alfredo Arcano.
Good stuff. Gavin?
I'm going to go for Golden Pearl, Tamiya, and best bet probably Bella Signora.
So we're disagreeing this week.
Oh, yes. Serious disagreeing, very much so. And
very intimidating look there.
I'm going with 10th Amendment, also going with Golden Pearl and Snow Patch as well in the maiden. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next week for more Friday Night Lights.